Namaste everyone. I am trying to shoot this video that in my family I really had a big tragedy. My mom dad passed away from the COVID. This is very shocking for me to accept this truth. I'm still trying to get my emotions centered. Somehow I've got some small success on this, but I'm still not able to deal with this bitter truth. But here, what I and my family and friends in India face the situation when my mom dad got COVID and we tried to find a treatment for both of them. I would like to share my sad story and how both of them struggle to get a proper treatment, and how my brother-in-law and my sister and some friends will come forward to find them a right treatment at the right time, and what are the difficulty they face during that 10 days. I would like to share that. They are the true warriors, COVID warriors for me and my family. I would like to start with the 10 days back. My father got the running nose, and he thought that it's just regular running nose. He didn't anticipate it might be COVID. So he used the home remedy in home for 2 days, and at the same period my mom also catch a cold. And they both were doing home remedies because they were afraid to go to the test center or any clinic or hospital, because they knew that if goes there, they might gonna find, or there are some fake report news, because in India is very chaos situation. Tons of informations is on news channels, and every news channels talk different. Every news channel has some theory, some stories, some remedies, and some of the clinics, some of the hospital doing this as a business. Some people say they go, they come negative, but when they go to visit, they pick up the COVID from that clinic or that center. So they were afraid to go. But my sister thought she was in Pune, far from dad, around 200 kilometers. But she was afraid that this could be a COVID sign. So she traveled with her husband and with her kids to the Sri Rampur, which is away from Pune, around 200 kilometers. And she came, she stays in another house and took mom dad for the test. So after 3 days of catching cold, when they did a test, they got result is positive. And there I received the first call from my sister that mom dad has a positive test for the COVID. It was shocking for me, but I had to deal. And then I decided we need to get right away a prompt action on this, and they should get a treatment. So once this test been come out, he had his regular doctor in Sri Rampur town, and he ran the COVID center. First we visit that place because he knew my dad's condition. He was the local doctor of him. But when we went and we told mom, dad is positive and we want to get a treatment from this hospital. This hospital is private hospital. He refused to admit my dad. He has a space, he has a bed, but he refused to admit my dad. Because my dad, the CT scan score was 12 and my mom's CT scan score was 8. So he will agree to admit mom but refused to admit dad. And at that moment, every city hospital was full. We had no choice but admit mom dad to his private hospital. We begged, literally begged him for 4-5 hours, trying to understand the reason why he doesn't want to admit. He has all the medicine available in these hospitals. He knew my dad's condition from last 5 years, that my dad is diabetic. He knew my dad's body better because he treating him from last 5 years. But he refused to take him. And we just couldn't understand why he doing that. He's a doctor, he running the COVID center, but why he refusing to take him? But at that moment, we were helpless. We couldn't argue with him, but we were just requesting him. Can he keep my dad? Can he let my dad stay here for 1 or 2 days for the first treatment? Once we can get a confirmation in a big hospital, we will move him there. But this doctor forget all his morals, and he refuses over and over. So at that moment, my another friend, which his name is Sachin Bhand, he was helping my brother-in-law to find a right place. What are the procedures? Because Sachin Bhan, he works for the pharmaceutical. He has his medical store. So he had a total local knowledge of this Sri Rampur place. And then he guided my brother-in-law for other things related to medical, related to doctor. And he tried to another hospital. They went there. But there also same condition. My dad got refused. So in local, on his own town, those who running COVID center, they are choosing the people who can even heal by themselves. those score is 5, 7, 8, 9, they taking this kind of the patients who may can have a treatment in home. They are turning back on the vulnerable people or senior people that who has some underlying issues like diabetes or lungs. They doesn't want to treat. Where these people can go? My question to these hospitals. In this pandemic, where these vulnerable people can go? After trying in a private hospital, refuse every single place. Who got the grant from government running COVID center, they turning back on the serious patients who needed the help the most. At that moment, whole day trying to just get a bed, just get the admit in hospital is spoiled. This was day 4. By the evening, somehow my dad had a thought about one of my cousin brother whose name is Rahul Waksaure. Same name as me. He worked for one of the rural government hospital. He drive ambulance there. He's an ambulance driver there. My dad called him and he told the whole situation. He said he will talk to this rural hospital and you may get a bed in this rural government hospital. Somehow he managed it. So my brother-in-law took my mom and dad to this rural hospital. They were there for one night and day. They had a basic treatment, tablets on COVID for 2 days. But these 2 days, the rural hospital doctor said, you must move them to the big hospital. So my brother-in-law did so many phone calls to find a confirmed bed. Once he get a confirmation that there is a confirmed bed for 2 people, then he will drive there for both of them and take them there. So from my hometown, around 70 kilometers, one of the district called Ahmednagar, got the confirmation, yes, you can get a bed there. So the day 6th, he drove in the morning for my dad, both of them. That time mom was in a government hospital in my hometown. So only my dad and brother-in-law went in the same car to this district office, district place, Ahmednagar, for his treatment. They reached there around 10 a.m. My brother-in-law put the deposit for bed. They took the deposit. They were sitting in the car for 6 hours to get admitted and proceed. At 4 p.m., when doctor sees my dad 5, he refuses to treat my dad. And he said, we're not able to treat him. Whole day again, the day 6 got spoiled. By 4 p.m. he telling, since morning 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. my dad was in the car. He drove 70 kilometers from hometown. What we were receiving only disappointment, not a treatment, not any attention. But my brother-in-law, he not gave up. My dad was saying, I want to go home. I don't want to go any hospital. I want to go home. But brother-in-law knew what gonna happen. So he wanted to give him a right medical attention. So again he drove from that place 100 kilometer to call city Aurangabad near Ellora Ajanta. And there by 12 p.m. the hospital name is Life Multi-Specialist got bed for him and admitted and did a protocol test. According to the government protocol, they did a proper test, my dad, by 12 p.m. 12 a.m. at night. So the moment we found his COVID on day 3, 3 days it took him to just to find a bed in a hospital. And after day 6, the treatment is started. But this was every single time was task. His treatment is started. Next day morning, result came out. And then the issue, you got the bed, but now the medicine. The medicine was out of the stock. Someday medicine is available, someday is not available. This injection called Remdesivir, one day is available, he get a shot. One day is not available, he doesn't get a shot. So he couldn't receive a fluent, proper treatment on daily basis. To set a fluent flow of the treatment on daily basis, we try to find a Remdesivir injection from the outside, where people has taught them to make a money from this. But to save my dad's life, we were ready to do anything. We did buy from the outside market. The price was not acceptable, but we did it. We got 3 injections. And that 3 injection used on my mom and also on dad, just to have a daily basis treatment. But someday were there that he couldn't get the injection and we couldn't find even outside. But in this whole procedure, they both were getting so much suffered. After he was there, mom condition also bad. Her score was 8, but she not got proper attention for last 3 days. So her score in 3 days become 16, which is multiplied. So she had a difficulty of breathing. So one of the uncle, Pradeep Kasar, her cousin brother, hold her hand, hold her and walk with her. To do all the tests. And took her to the Aurangabad again for the Life's Multiple Specialty Hospital. So he were in a contact of her. And then after that, when he back home, he quarantined himself. But my brother-in-law, he stayed in the hospital for that 8 days. He visited every day of them. So he was taking the mild COVID treatment from the doctor, which they give him medicines and also the vitamins. Without caring for his life, he was ready to do anything for his father-in-law and his mother-in-law. When mom was admitted there, mom couldn't bear the pain. She had very difficulty. And she completely gave up because in the COVID patients, like a senior citizen like this, they need attention. They need a care. But the COVID ward is, they has to stay alone. No relative or anyone can stay there because of COVID situation. So all day, 24 hours, they just on the bed lying. And my brother-in-law used to visit them for 2 to 3 minutes in a day. That's what is allowed to do. But many other hospitals, even that also not allowed. So she gave up the hope. She called my sister on phone and she said, I don't want to stay in the hospital, I want to go home. She couldn't bear that loneliness, the pain, and the difficulty of breathing. Initially they were on oxygens, but later she couldn't eat. But dad was a bit positive on his attitude. In these 8 days of treatment, there was some improvement which we all noticed in dad and mom. And we had some hope. We were positive that they will come out. But during, both of them were in the same ward of ICU, but bit far. Dad was not next to mom. Mom was quite different place in the same ward, but they couldn't walk to each other or they couldn't really see each other, but they just knew each other that they are in same ward. So there was one boy who is a cleaner. He used to clean the floor, also change the bed sheet and all that. So my dad got friend with him. This boy, I would say the righteous warrior. And he gave some comfort to my dad being there. He talked to him daily. And he used to pass a message for my mom and dad to each other. So in this difficult time, Also, my mom and dad, they were romantic to each other. They used to care for each other. And this boy used to pass their messages to each other. I don't know this boy name, but I find out this story after. I surely want to meet him. Many others on this, the Govind Jadhav sir, his wife Varsha Jadhav, and his brother-in-law Ganu More, and my cousin sister Rupali Sisode. This all people is everyone, every single of them is true COVID warrior to me. Because of this situation, I couldn't travel from Thailand to India, and they has done what I should have done. But I'm running out of my words. I don't have anything to speak. Actually, my pain is that mom had tremendous pain and she couldn't deal with. And last week, it's been 7 days now that dad on Monday evening, he took his last breath. We not inform mom on this, but somehow she has the foresight. She knew from inside. The very moment mom's health start declining, and in 24 hours she is also passed away. Why? Why they not get the treatment for first 3 days? Why we have to hunt for every single thing? First find a bed. Once you receive the bed, then search for the medicine. Once you search for the medicine, suddenly hospital calls at night, 2 a.m. to my brother-in-laws and say that in 2 hours oxygen going to finish in the hospital. You move them. Where to move? Where to go? Then he calls to the collector office. Somehow they manage to supply the oxygen on the same very night, and we manage that situation. If they would get attention the moment we find the COVID, today's story could be different. They won't be on the wall. So please, all the private hospital, all the doctor, I have a request. Please, please don't turn the back on the vulnerable people. Don't turn the back on the senior citizen. Don't turn your back on those who have underlying disease, underlying issues. They are the one who needed the most attention. I have lost my loved one. I don't want anyone to go through this challenge in this situation. Please, please help those who need the most. Don't fill up the hospital with the people who can heal by taking simple medications. Keep the bed free for the serious patients. Don't stock the medicines when the patient need, they don't get. I hope this tragedy would change somebody, some doctors, some private hospitals. The people who stock the medicine might change their mind. And I would like to tribute the people, the persons. They did a righteous actions without caring their health. The true COVID warrior who stepped forward and helped my mom, dad. Thank you.